So here we are still in part 2, and this comes right after lesson 260, is section 5, what is the body? Paragraph 1, the body is the fence the Son of God imagines he has built to separate parts of his self from other parts. So the body is like putting a box around us. It's this costume that we have identified with that has us feel confined and contained inside of this. And this is what the ego has created to separate parts of his self from other parts. So parts of myself, my holy self, from yourself. And if I see you as a body, as a physical body, not as the light body that you are, as the essence of the energy that you are, which your light body is a field that extends about 8 feet from your center, your heart. There's a group called Heart Math that has measured the energy that our heart puts out, and it goes many feet outwardly, and we are surrounded inside of this field of energy that is really who we are. But because we're focalized here, we have made this become what matters, and in thinking this is what matters, we have identified with our physical body. So sentence 2, it is within this fence he thinks he lives, to die as it decays and crumbles. So we really believe that we die when we experience death of the body. But what we are is this energy that is existing outside of us, cannot be contained in this body. So we're learning to get to know who we are, which is quite extensive. And you are quite extensive. So we have to learn to see people, not physical beings, but the souls of each other, as the light beings that we are, as the energy that we actually are, so that we can see how majestic we are. We are these amazing beings that are moving about, mingling with one another. That it's like a giant, I think of it as a jellyfish, this beautiful translucent light. And some of us who can see auras can see some of that. Some of us can see all of that. And it's really amazingly magnificent when you can see the light of another human being extending, their divinity, their holiness extending beyond the body. You can't confine them. You cannot judge them anymore, because now you have seen their true majesty as wholly created by God. For within this fence he thinks that he is safe from love. Listen to this powerful statement. For within this fence he thinks he is safe from love. So I shared earlier, as I began to do these recordings, that I had met a wonderful man named Dan. Well, as the relationship has progressed and fears got kicked in, both his and mine, I had a program to work with. I had the Course in Miracles to help me come into the realization that I could shift my thoughts, that I could move from fear to love, that I could shift and lift my frequency, and that I could take whatever he was saying, it's not personal. Whatever he's saying, whatever attacks, whatever fears he has, they're not about me. They're his own fears against him experiencing love. This is why I want to make this sentence so important. For within this fence, he thinks that he is safe from love. Dan's thoughts that love hurts, that he has been rejected so many times over the years, which is why he has not had a long-term relationship in 25 some years, is because in his mind he would rather, not him, not the truth of who he is, but the ego mind, which is what we all believe we are. We believe we're our thoughts, operates inside of this. I'm going to protect myself. I'm not going to let you close to this body. I'm not going to let you close to this heart, because you might hurt me, and if you hurt me, I'm going to feel bad again, like I have always felt when I experience people that I love leaving me or rejecting me. So the ego says, I'll reject you. I'm going to build a fence and leave love out. So I don't take it personally that he doesn't want to be with me, because he just doesn't want to be with love. So I have had the opportunity to sit with so much compassion. Yes, I had sadness. Yes, I had to process some grief, the loss of the possibility of sharing my life with this man whom I totally adore. But I had to also be honest with myself. He's believing thoughts about himself that are not true. So he's powerful. He can do that. And I need to respect that he is on his journey and the Holy Spirit has his back like the Holy Spirit has mine. So when I experience my discomfort around this, I go directly to God so that my mind can get straight, so that my thinking can be in alignment with the truth of who I am, which is that I am the presence of love here to extend love. And as I said to him, to Dan, no matter what you do, I'm not going to stop loving you. I am not going to fill my mind with even one thought of something bad about you or wrong with you or that I don't like about you, because if I do that, I'm going to put suffering inside of me, and I am not going to suffer for anybody. I am going to see you as whole, perfect, magnificent, and powerful, using your power the way that you're choosing to use it. You don't have to be in love with me. That's okay. Everybody is allowed to be with who they want to be with, but I'm not taking it as rejection, as if there's something wrong with me. I am not a sinner. There's nothing wrong with this holiness that God created. Not from arrogance, but from a humble acceptance of the truth of what God has said God created me as. I cannot accept that I am other than what God created me as, because then I would be very arrogant. And in that arrogance, I would be ignorant of the truths that God has said are so. And here's the thing. So is Dan. He is the presence of love. So is my former husband, Ken. So are my children. So is everybody. So is, the president, the dictator, everybody that has ever lived and ever will live. Everyone is the expression of love in our beautiful jellyfish-like Merkabas, which is the energy field that surrounds us, the soul, the essence of who we really are, believing that we're just these bodies. So how can I be upset with him when he just doesn't know the truth? But I know that. So for me to experience my peace and my joy, I must see that as his truth, which is how I get to see through the eyes of Christ. Identifying with his safety, he regards himself as what his safety is. His safety is the body that keeps him separate from me, and then he takes that body and puts it in a house that's separate from me, and that house is in a city that's separate from me. So there's a lot of layers that have been built to justify in the mind I'm really separate from her. How else could he be certain he remains within the body, keeping love outside? If there's one thing that I absolutely know is that man does love me, because we all love one another. The truth of who we are, we all love one another. Are we meant to be boyfriend, girlfriend? Are we meant to be romantically involved? Maybe not. I believe that we could be, because I know that I can dedicate myself fully to this relationship, but he doesn't believe that he could be, because he has left love out. He is choosing to protect himself from the possibility that love could hurt him. And maybe I'm not the one he's meant to be with, but he's blocking himself from any love. Because you see, if we feel a connection with another person, and it's intense, and it's wonderful, and it's beautiful, if you stay acknowledging the truth of who you are, that relationship can only grow and blossom. It's when we begin to point at what's not okay with it, what's not loving about it, what's a problem with it, that we then begin to create the fences that separate us, because we create a list of evidence of why we should protect ourselves and stay away from one another. So when we feel that love, if we are ready to experience that forever with that person, all you got to do is cultivate it. If you believe, if your ego starts telling you that person's going to hurt you, you're going to see only the thorns and the weeds in the garden. You're not going to cultivate the love. You're going to cultivate the experience of what hurts. And guess what? That will grow, because what you focus on expands. Why? Because we're using the mind of God to project what we want to see, to give us evidence of what we believe is true about us. If I believe I'm weak and love can hurt me, I am going to project I can't get close to somebody. They don't really love me, I don't love them. If I, in my invulnerability, because I know I'm one with God, am fearless, love is all I can give. So love is what would grow. It has to be so. There's no other way around it. So paragraph 2, the body will not stay. Obviously, it's going to decay. Yet this he sees as double safety. This is important. For the Son of God's impermanence is proof his fence works. And do the task his mind assigns to them. Let me read this again. The body will not stay, it will die. Yet this he sees as double safety. For the Son of God's impermanence is proof his fences work, and do the task his mind assigns to them. For if his oneness still remained untouched, who could attack and who could be attacked? So because we believe that we are a body and our body is going to die and decay, we believe that in our decay, finally, when I am dead, now love cannot hurt me. I am totally gone. Nobody can hurt me after I die. Which is crazy, because what we do is while we are alive, we keep ourselves from feeling love, thinking that this body is going to protect me by me rejecting you. And then when I'm dead, you really cannot get to me. Isn't that insane? Isn't that insane? Because when you drop the body, all you're going to feel is love, because love is what you are, which is why we keep reincarnating and coming back to have these experiences, because it's so much fun to be human, because when you learn what you are, then it energizes, it sensitizes your body to be the presence of love. Our bodies are communication devices. We would feel the amazingness of communicating love, holding a baby, playing with a puppy, hugging your beloved, making love to your partner, helping your grandmother, holding her by the hand as you cross the street, baking food, smelling the deliciousness of that, hearing the beautiful music. Our bodies would become communication devices that would be interested in nothing but experiencing the joy of extending love. Craziness. Sentence number 5 in paragraph 2. So who could be victor? Who could be his prey? Who could be victim? Who the murderer? And if he did not die, what proof is there that God's eternal Son can be destroyed? So we really believe that we become destroyed, that we are destroyed when we're in ego, that we're destroyed with death. How insane is that when what we are is eternal? So all the ego accomplishes in doing is to keep us from being happy and enjoying life, being fully alive and enjoying the love that is present here, because we believe in sane thoughts that there's something wrong with us. Paragraph 3, the body is a dream. Like other dreams, it sometimes seems to picture happiness, but can quite suddenly revert to fear where every dream is born. So this is what I believe happens to every single one of us. We pictured happiness. We meet somebody, we feel connected, and then all of a sudden, quite suddenly, we revert to fear. The thoughts about how somebody hurt us when we were children, how somebody left us. So then the dream of separation kicks in. Then now the dream of protection has to come next. And if we're going to really protect ourselves, then we have to create the total disconnection. We cannot even live in the same house. We can't even, some of us won't even talk to each other. Sentence number 3, for only love creates in truth, and truth can never fear. If you commit to love, love would not go away. It would be impossible. Made to be fearful, must the body serve the purpose given it. But we can change the purpose that the body will obey by changing what we think that it is for. We can change the purpose. Our body will stay away from somebody because our mind sends the direction. Our mind says, walk away, stay away. So our body has to do that. But we can change the purpose that the body will obey by changing what we think that it is for. If we think that our body is for expressing love, then you would never have to walk away from anybody. There would be no need, because you would cultivate love and love would just simply grow. Paragraph 4. The body is the means by which God's Son returns to sanity. This is really important that we understand why the body is the means by which God's Son returns to sanity. Though it was made to fence him into hell without escape, yet has the goal of heaven been exchanged for the pursuit of hell. So yes, this body, we believe that it is a fence. It separates us from one another. Yes, it just makes it crazy that the idea that when we die, we escape all of this has created hell for us in this lifetime. The Son of God extends his hand to reach his brother and to help him walk along the road with him. Now is the body holy. Now it deserves to heal the mind that it was made to kill. So, when you extend love, when you decide to come out of your safety and you make yourself vulnerable and say, let me tell you what I was thinking about you. I was having fear-based thoughts. I'm trained in this, so I was always open to do this with Dan. He wasn't available to do that with me. That's okay. He's in his journey, I'm in mine. It just helped me see more clearly that it is more fun to have a partner where giving and receiving are one, but even if they don't, I am allowed, because I know the truth and it feels good, to keep giving without expectation. It feels so amazing to me. So, the body is a communication device. The body is the means by which God's Son returns to his sanity. Use your body. Feel the tightness and the tension. You're in fear. You're blocking the presence of love from expressing through you. When you feel that need to protect, make a decision to shift and open. When you shift and say what is on your mind, and you forgive yourself for believing things that are not true. You forgive yourself for having judgments. You forgive yourself for believing you are finite and you need to protect yourself. When you begin to do that work, and it takes quite a while of shifting your thinking, you're going to create miracles. You are going to be attracting the people who will match you at the level that you are at. Dan was a perfect match to show me that when we were both inside of that space of not knowing each other, because the mind didn't have ideas of the other, fear didn't get activated, we met. And he is one of the sweetest, gentlest, kindest, most precious people I've ever met. It matched who I am. But his fears began to activate and he began to pull back. So I had to recognize, okay, it's not about me. So it matched that I am not taking anything personal. His kindness and my kindness were a wonderful match. He retreated, and I decided to continue to extend love no matter what. So I, till this day, still reach out to him as a friend now, sharing information. He's open to that. At least it appears that he is. He hasn't said no. I asked, may I share this with you? Or, I've been inspired to share this with you, and he receives it. So I'm guessing it's still open. Could things change between us? Of course, I don't know what anything is for. So yes, it could, if that's what God is using us for, is to bring us together. But if we don't, and that's okay too. Paragraph 5. You will identify with what you think will make you safe. If you think shutting love out makes you safe, you will shut love out. If you believe letting love in so that you can extend it keeps you safe, then you will identify with that. And my safety lies in extending love. My safety lies in not fearing anybody in this world. My safety lies in knowing that I am safe in the mind of God. And if all of this is energy, if all of this is consciousness, I'm just walking amidst a whole bunch of energy. Why not enjoy it? Why not enjoy it? Whatever it may be, you will believe what it is one with you. You will believe that it is one with you, sorry. So you will identify with what you think will make you safe. Whatever it may be, you will believe that it is one with you. I am one with God. That's what keeps me safe. I am in the mind of God. I am one with the mind of God. If you believe that you are one with your body, then you're going to believe your body keeps you safe. You're identified with that. Now you're going to do everything you can to protect and lock down and keep yourself apart from others. It's just the way it goes. Your safety lies in truth and not in lies. So Dan thinks he might be safe by separating from me, but that never will be the case, because if he would have faced his fears with me, he would have been freed from his story. But because he retreated into a false sense of safety, he took his story with him. Guess what? His safety lies only in truth, not in lies. So in his own self-protection, with the next partner, same thing is going to come up. If he retreats, wherever he goes, there goes his thinking. It's going to keep going with him whenever he comes out, his beliefs about himself, about love, and about the world and safety and truth, whatever his perception of truth is, or his body, he will go out into the world, he will meet somebody, and then when he feels activated and unsafe, he's going to retreat back to what he believes. I did it when I used to believe lies. So it's taken me, oh my gosh, well over a decade to learn this, to practice this, and to recognize Sentence number 4, paragraph 5. Love is your safety. Love is my safety. The love of God is my safety. There is nothing in the world that can take anything from me. The world is here designed for me to give it my love, and therein lies my safety. Because in not fearing somebody can take anything from me, I get to give it, and as I give it, I receive it, and it replenishes, and I stay fulfilled, I stay joyful, I stay gentle, I stay tolerant, trusting God, because I have seen it happen over and over, and I have evidence that every time I extend love, I feel good. And I'm addicted to feeling good. Why? Because my body, here we go again, this is where the body is the means by which God's Son returns to sanity, and my body feels good, then I am going to keep practicing what feels good. Because in that feeling good is a sense of ease and peace. This is not the feeling good of a temporary pleasure. Like I felt good when I made love with Dan, and that orgasm felt wonderful. That's not what I'm talking about. The safety that I feel knowing that I'm the presence of love extending itself safe no matter what, it is so much more powerful than an orgasm, because it is an activation of energy in my whole body. It's not just something that you experience for a couple of seconds in the process of intercourse. It is something that you experience throughout the course of your life, because it's who you are consistently. It's amazing. I love this line. Love is your safety. Fear does not exist. Identify with love and you are safe. Identify with love and you are home. Identify with love and find yourself. When you acknowledge that you are love and you're meant to give it, your whole body will align with the truth. Then you will not be defined by it. You will not be confined by it. You will know that you are the energy field that surrounds you, and wherever you go, there love goes with you. Can you tell that I love this stuff? Oh my God, it's life-changing. What is the body? A communication device for us to extend love. God created each and every one of us to be here loving one another. Let's use the bodies for love. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.